Santa Fe native Lisa Venniclasen returned to her hometown recently, where the mayor issued a proclamation recognizing the work of her organization, Just Associates, or JAS. It's a global network of activists, educators, and scholars who work with women around the world in their efforts to promote women's rights, health, and economic empowerment. The group won the Letelier Moffat Human Rights Award recently from the Institute for Policy Studies for its initiative helping female activists who are working for human rights in Mexico and Central America. NMIF producer Megan Kemrick sat down with Venniclasen for our one-on-one segment to talk about her work.
Lisa Venniclasen, thank you for joining us here on New Mexico in Focus.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about what led to the founding of JAS. Briefly, I know it's a long story, but why did you feel, what led you to do this? Why is it necessary?
Well, JAS is a global network of, I co-founded it with activists that I had known in Southern Africa, Central America, and Southeast Asia, and had an opportunity to work with them on economic justice issues, on women's rights issues. And we founded JAS together in 2002 because we were concerned that citizens groups were not as well equipped for doing advocacy in a changing world. But in 2005, we narrowed our focus completely to women's rights and really decided to build the organization from all of the places and histories and activism of our founders. And so that is why today JAS is in 27 countries working to support women leaders really on the front lines of human rights crises and economic crises. And it's really trying to equip women to be safe and speak out on a whole range of issues that are important in their context.
So the name was for Just Associates. It's not, has nothing to do with jazz, the music.
Although we really, we love that we're jazz. You know, now we work in so many different languages, and jazz means a lot to everybody in Southeast Asia. They call themselves Jazzy and jazzy, and I think what we do is a little bit like jazz because we're a fusion of lots of different approaches to political and social change, and we really respond, we call it riffing, when we respond to a fast-changing moment and we move into it to try and make change, to look for opportunities to make women's voices louder, their leadership, their solutions more visible.
Talk about that process. So how do you decide where to work, and are you identifying the issues through the people on the ground, saying this is what we want to work on?
Yeah, everything we do is from the ground up, and actually all of our activities, our leadership schools, our network building, our advocacy is led by the grassroots leaders on the front line. And we have built from our original founding network. So it's not like I went to Central America and said, okay, let's get together, let's see what we're going to work on. The 5 co-founders from different countries in Central America and also Mexico have built from their own body of work and their own relationships and involvement with social movements and with women. And so when we first began in 2005, we brought together a whole diverse range of women, trade unionists, indigenous women, feminists, lesbian activists together to really look at how power was shifting. And what became clear is that violence against activists was such a huge issue for women. And so we've built from that. And similarly in Southern Africa, where the issues around health and access to reproductive health services have been huge. And in Southeast Asia, it's mostly young women. So it's really about voice and freedom of expression as well as economic issues.
And so can your network, these are issues that women are working on, and your network can help amplify that, give them resources, connect them with perhaps larger players or media?
That's exactly it. We have leadership schools, but one of our key pieces is to build these bigger networks and then mobilize these networks for louder advocacy at the national level, but use the fact that we are global and have people in lots of different places, including international organizations, in the UN, in the Inter-American Human Rights Commission, working with the African Union, to use those relationships to get the voices of the women on the front line into the conversation shaping policy. And it works very quickly, and it's a very great way to use resources, but also to have women speak on their own behalf and not others speak for them.
Can you give us an example of a really moving story that you got involved in with Jazz, with an activist? Tell us a little bit about.
You know, there are many different stories, but we have our leadership school in Mexico and Central America is dedicated to indigenous and rural women who are on the front lines of battles against mining companies and against corrupt sort of mega development projects. And one of those is a woman named Lolita, who is the head of a young indigenous activist who heads her community in Maya Quiche in Guatemala. And when I first met her, she said to me that she was on a terrorist list for the work she was doing to defend her community, and could I help her get off that list? And so
The military in Guatemala had placed her.
they had, because it's the women who are defending indigenous peoples' territories and land rights are in the most danger in Mexico and Central America, because they're up against a lot of players with vested interests. And so working with Lolita, she's now one of the facilitators in our leadership school. And I was just in New York with her and with 12 other indigenous women for the World Conference of Indigenous People. Lolita is recognized worldwide today for her leadership, and we've managed to get her out of harm's way twice. She's been attacked, she's been threatened, she continues to be threatened, but by enabling her to be much more visible, using media to give her visibility, and also working to get her protective measures through regional human rights mechanisms, she is a lot safer.
So that she can't just be disappeared without at least something happening.
Yeah, and there are many women like her doing so many different things and very much on the front line without a lot of support and resources, who are extraordinarily inspiring.
Your organization just received an award, a substantial human rights award. What is the significance of that?
Well, we received the award with 5 partners. We co-founded the Mesoamerica Women Human Rights Defenders Initiative in 2010, and that's what we received the award for. And I think, I believe, you know, it acknowledges new heroes of the human rights movement. We feel very honored to be in a long line of people who've been honored, but I think it's because what we've done is what feminists and human rights or women's rights activists have done forever, which is we've made the invisible visible. Particularly what we've made visible is the fact that mothers are human rights leaders on the front line, and that women are getting subjected to violence both from organized crime and from repressive governments, and need different kinds of protection. And we've built networks in 5 countries that are self-defense networks for women from all different backgrounds, and a whole approach to keeping them safe and recognized for their contributions in human rights.
Since you started Chess over 10 years ago, there's been a lot of things that have happened. Half the Sky movement, 1 Billion Rising. We just celebrated the United Nations Day of the Girl Child. How are things better than they were when you started?
You know, women's rights and gender equality is always 3 steps forward, 2 steps backwards, 3 steps sideways. And I think, you know, it's a complex one, because it's how it works is it's embedded in all our hearts and minds, and it plays out in our families. And so you can make really important gains in terms of visibility of women, and you can have, you know, women running for high office, and you can change laws. But as you can see in this country, because if you don't seriously change how we think about the voices of girls and women and what happens in families and the roles that women and girls play, then very soon those gains are reversed. And we've seen it happening in the US now. We have very important reproductive health gains that have been reversed systematically and are constantly under threat. So it's never a done deal. I feel incredibly optimistic, though, because I think very different kinds of women are coming out and really being heard. How and are at the center of agendas that really have to do with how we're going to live in the planet for the next.
You've said that if we don't have these voices and these discussions on really key issues like climate change, like human rights, then these discussions are not going to be legitimate or balanced or informed. Why?
Well, I think women, women are in the forefront of climate change. When you look at the role of Indigenous women dealing with flooding and the side effects and building resilient communities, their solutions are extraordinarily resourceful. They don't have a seat at the table. We're not hearing their contribution. We need to know how communities live more sustainably and are resilient enough to deal with the impacts of climate change. They need to be in the middle of the conversation on what are we going to do about climate change. And that's how we operate, to get their voices heard and support their voices and build the networks among women who are playing those roles, of mothers who are dealing with health issues and pollution, getting them in the middle of the conversations about schools and this sort of thing. So I'm very optimistic that women's innovations will be at the center of conversations on very critical issues. So,
well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us on New Mexico in Focus. If you have a couple more minutes, we can talk a bit more on the web.
okay, thanks very much for the time.